accessing the dentist, right? And being able to actually get a hold of somebody. I know that's a big deal to you. I love your background story on that. Would you mind sharing that with us?
Yeah, it's a good story. So we hopped around a lot when we started our business. I mean, our first office that we opened, well, if we would term it an office, it was 360 square feet, and it was in the basement of a building, and it was next to some shady businesses. That's all I'll say there. And we were moving from that business, and we moved into, a couple thousand square foot office. And me and my partners were moving one night, and I remember going home at like 11 o'clock at night. I was doing a webinar with Front Office Rocks the next morning, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get some Domino's. We worked hard all day. I sit down on the couch. It's 11:15. I take one bite into the Domino's, and my tooth falls out. My front tooth falls out. And this is also in the infancy of the business, where I'm like, well, I'm going to do a webinar with Laura Hatch, who I barely know, tomorrow. I'm not going to call and move that. Also, I don't have a front tooth. I look like a pirate. And so I remember, like, at 11:15 at night, like, calling practice after practice. Of course, no one answered. And then getting up the next morning at like 6 a.m. being like, okay, I'm going to find one practice who has their front desk team member or doctor in-house at that time. And I called and I called and I called and I called. And finally at like 7:45 or 8, I was able to get a hold of a practice. And that's when I realized that there is plenty of practices who get opportunities, and you don't need to answer your phone at 11:15 at night, but there's opportunities throughout the day all the time. And the interesting thing about that is because Dr. Bowen was able to take my call early that morning and also fix my issue and get me to my webinar on time, I still go to him today.
Yep.
And I also have sent my siblings and my friends there. And that's not like the BS story just to like tell people about it. I sincerely feel he fixed my issue in a very sincere time of need. And because of that, I want people to go there because I believe he's going to do the same for them. And so that's the importance around answering the phone calls and always being nice.